Hello and welcome to the President's Table. My name is Dan Jones, the President of Texas A&M University Commerce. Hope that all of our viewers had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know that we had a house full of family guests out at the house and just had a marvelous time. And now we're in full gear for the upcoming holiday season. And that's, I guess, the topic of our first segment here on the President's Table. Our guests for the first segment are Dr. Chris White, head of the Department of Music, and Dr. Randall Hooper, who is the Director of Choral Activities. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And I know that we have our annual music gala coming up in a few weeks. And Randy, can you tell us a little bit about what to expect?
Sure. This is our third annual gala, and it will be, we've kind of started some traditions. We're going to end with the finale that we've ended with the last couple of years, which is a medley of Christmas carols performed by the Wind Ensemble and Chorale. And the Wind Ensemble will perform, it's become a tradition to perform the night before Christmas with Dr. White narrating. Everybody seems to enjoy that. And then the main attraction, Jazz Band and Panamation Steel Drum Ensemble will be performing, along with various chamber ensembles from the department. This is the first year we've done the program 2 nights, and because of that we're enabling more chamber ensembles to be able to perform. So each night will be a little different with different groups performing at various nights. So one night you might hear the flute ensemble, and the next night you might hear a saxophone ensemble.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Now I know the new performance hall gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of staging and production and so forth. Without giving anything away, can you talk a little bit about the way that's going to work?
Yeah, there will be performances that will come from the main stage, and then there are 4 side parterres that we'll utilize, so the chamber groups will be in those side parterres, and we've worked out special lighting so we can light those areas. So there'll be a group set up in one of the side parterres while another group is performing on stage, and then it'll be a seamless program going back and forth between those 5 performing places. But also during the concert, curtains and different configurations will be changed to change the acoustic for every group that will be performing. So it's got a great, lots of variety in how we can set it up. It's really a great performing space.
I know we saw some of that at the dedication a few weeks ago, and the amazing thing to me was how it would just move from one number to the next and then a speaker. And you knew that there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, or sometimes not even behind the scenes, but just kind of in darkness.
Yeah.
But you don't notice that because you know your attention is directed.
Yeah, the hall was put together so well to lend itself to those kinds of performances. It's really great to be in there and get to do that.
Yeah, and really run it through its paces.
Right.
Well, how much are the tickets, and how can our viewers get hold of them?
Tickets are $10 for adults and $7 for school-age children, kindergarten through 12th grade. And they can be purchased in the music office by calling our number at 903-886-5304. And the concert is December 9th and 10th, so next weekend.
Okay, coming right up. Can they order them online?
And they can order them online. They can email me directly and find that through our website, or email our secretary, Nancy Melton. Yes.
Great, great. Well, I know it'll be a great event, and we're all looking forward to it. Now, another big event coming up in early spring will be when the Wind Ensemble and the Chorale will be performing at Carnegie Hall in New York City, and this will be on February 28th. Now, how did this opportunity come into being, and what events will we see surrounding the event itself?
There's a general director and artistic director of a company called Distinguished Concerts International, which is basically an agency that produces concerts in international world-class performance venues. And they contacted us and invited us to submit a recording and a concert proposal for consideration for their production. And after we sent our CD and our proposal, they were very enthusiastic about putting together a concert for us in Carnegie Hall. So that's kind of how the event came about. And from that point on, we've been working with them to plan the event as far as travel and actually what we will produce on stage. And then once we get there, there will be a couple of days of travel around getting there. But once we get there on that Tuesday, we'll spend most of the day in Carnegie Hall rehearsing and getting ready for the concert. And we're planning a reception after the concert for alumni and special guests and all the performers that'll be there. We actually, the band, Wind Ensemble, will be performing a world premiere on that concert, and the composer has contacted us and wants to be at the event.
Oh, that's great.
And he actually said he wanted to bring 50 guests with him, so we're real excited to have him there. And so the reception will be a time for the performers to get to meet the composer and alumni in the Northeast area, and parents and family and friends will probably be at the reception also.
Oh,
so
that's
we're really
incredible. That's
that.
incredible. And for the students, can just imagine what it must be like for them. Sort of like when our football team played at Cowboy Stadium.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds far-fetched, but to be in a place of, that has such heritage and such fame, and for them to be performing in it. Dr. White, I understand that we've got 100 students going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. We have, between the Chorale and Wind Ensemble, 100 students. I'd like to point out that this invitation to perform was really quite an honor. Obviously, a company is not going to invite someone to perform at Carnegie Hall that will not draw a good crowd in New York
Right.
City. So they are performing in a venue that, in a very popular part of New York City that competes for the concert-going audience. The music department's performed there twice. The experience of performing at Carnegie Hall for the university and the department is really a benchmark. It's kind of a cliche to say, well, I'm good enough to perform at Carnegie Hall, but it's really true. It's like playing at Cowboy Stadium in that regard. When Carnegie Hall was dedicated, Tchaikovsky conducted the performance.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And a short time later, Dvorak conducted the premiere of the New World Symphony. So it's been the home of performance after performance of the great artists of the 20th century. So to stand in the place where Tchaikovsky conducted,
Yeah.
and then conduct the chorale or the wind ensemble's got to be a great thrill for the faculty,
yeah.
and I can't imagine the awe that the students would have in that. So for the students, I mean,
Yeah.
to perform in Carnegie Hall is really a point of arrival for them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's something they'll remember the rest of their lives.
Yes, sir.
And of course, and they'll tell their friends back in their high schools and so forth. And what a tremendous draw that's going to be in terms of helping us recruit the very best young music students to come to A&M Commerce.
Absolutely. Randy does a lot of recruiting for the choir, so I think he can speak more to the recruiting aspect of it. Your experience, what are students?
Yeah, I find the students that we're trying to recruit are looking for departments of music universities to attend that are actively performing on the state and regional, national, international level. So to get this invitation does speak highly to what we've are doing now, but it also speaks highly to what we can do and what we will be doing in the future, and I think attracts the highest quality of student to come to study with us.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's a tremendous achievement and something that again they'll treasure for the rest of their lives. Dr. White, we're coming up to kind of a bittersweet moment in the life of the department. You have in so many ways helped build the department, the music building. I know you're intimately involved in the design and programming, and you've announced in the spring this year your plans to retire as department head. And we just have a few seconds left, but so we can't really do it justice. But as you reflect on your career here at A&M Commerce, what stands out and what of your legacy will carry on?
Legacy. I always knew I had a reputation. I didn't know I'd have a legacy. Seriously, I think that legacy would be, if there is indeed a legacy, it would be in two parts. I think it was that I continued the focus and the reputation that the university and the department had on music education. We're one of the best locations in the region in terms of training quality music teachers. And we focused on that with a strategic plan that I hope continues. On a personal legacy, I just hope people remember the passion and love I had for the department, for the students and the faculty, and for this great university. Yeah. What a wonderful place to teach.
Well, it's certainly been an honor for all of us that you've been part of it for so long and helped mold it and help it realize its potential.
Thank you.
Dr. Chris White, Dr. Randy Hooper, thank you so much for being with us today, and we'll be back in a moment with the second segment on the President's Table.